Recording in progress.
You will both die.
These are thrilling times.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
Hey, I'm Nick.
Hi, this is Robert.
Hi, I'm Tirzah.
This is Cloud of Witnesses.
On our series, yes, but...
Nick, you know what's going on in this one. This one's a secret, so
you guys,
take us away.
This is just a fun food for thought episode that I thought you guys might enjoy. So let's just get straight to it.
In an historic first, a team of primatologists has succeeded in teaching Quigley, a western lowland gorilla, the concept of mortality and his inevitable doom.
When we first started with Quigley, he was just a normal, happy ape.
The first thing we did was we taught him patterns like
Right.
red block, blue block, green block over and over. Then it became a pattern of gorilla born, gorilla grow, gorilla die over and over.
Right. It took thousands of repetitions, but Quigley finally became cognizant of the correlation between himself and the decomposing pile of hair and flesh in the photo.
Quigley also began painting pictures like these almost every day. To make sure Quigley retains the awareness of his own demise, the team spends several hours per day reinforcing the certainty of death's arrival.
Quigley, you will die soon.
The researchers say at first Quigley could only communicate rudimentary fears about his own death, but he soon moved on to expressing more complex emotions, like indifference and self-hatred.
He was letting out these anguished cries and banging his head against the wall, and I just thought, we did it.
The Chilean scientists believe that we may be able to teach a gorilla to resort to alcoholism. The scientists next plan to test whether the results with Quigley can be replicated with other species. They are in the initial stages of teaching bunny rabbits that they will all die.
You will both die.
These are thrilling times.
Times indeed.
Oh,
Thrilling.
the good people at the Onion, huh?
That's classic.
You will both die. Oh, and the rabbits, super cute.
Yeah, something that we might be able to turn him into an alcoholic at some point.
I would actually love to hear your guys' first reactions because I actually did an edit of that, so I've seen it.
Okay.
I got the best parts of that clip, so I want to hear your guys' gut reactions.
Sure. My gut reaction is yes, we are called as Christians to be conscious of our inevitable death, but it shouldn't lead us to be drunks and, morbidly depressed all the time.
Yeah.
If I may go next, I just love the how they cast the academics. They just look totally like just the guy with the vest and she's I don't have words for it.
You know what's funny? The vest really caught me too. I was like, that's so academic. The vest, the fleece vest. I don't know. I thought that was a good nuanced detail that they threw in.
Yeah, the academic.
Why? That's my first reaction. I don't know. It really seemed very. Sorry, Nick. Is this a joke? Like, were they doing this video as a joke, or was it a real thing?
Yeah.
It's a joke.
It's satire.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, but it's like it's really true. Like, okay, if that's literally all you're gonna think about, of course you're gonna get depressed. Of course you're gonna feel like life is crap. Like, who cares? Why even try? Which is such a sad way to live.
But you know what's interesting? And this is the reason why I thought this is actually material we could use is because it's satire. And the thing is, what are they making satire about?
Exactly.
They're making satire that science cannot solve the depressing fact of death.
Yeah.
All they can do is wow, look at these scientists. They're able to communicate with gorillas. Wow. Yeah. They're able to actually have concepts. And the satire, the but that even the Onion, right, is underlining is, but what does that all mean if at the end of the day, we are a bunch of depressed alcoholic primates, right?
Yep.
So, and I thought that is a very interesting and actually a psychologically very deep satire that they just, and I thought it was very well executed in its own way. So I applauded them for it.
Absolutely. This is back when the Onion was still funny. I don't know if you guys know, but the Onion, I used to love the Onion.
Yes, me too.
The Onion sucks. I'm just gonna say it. That's my hot take of the day. The Onion is they went down the political road where they only were in essence, making fun of conservatives, etc., and they became, kind of more of a advocacy group as opposed to a comedy satirical group. So this is the golden age of the Onion, and that was really funny, hilarious.
The golden YouTube era.
Yeah.
Well, I think, it's also a question of, what makes a joke work? What makes something funny? What makes us laugh? And I think the joke has to have some seeds of the truth in it, right? Something that we can all relate to. And I think when I saw the clip and I looked at the academics being so silly yet very serious, and it looked like they themselves believe in this silliness, which in their seriousness, it's just really funny, because they're like, oh yeah, this and that and that, and you can see that sometimes, when they come up with some outlandish theory or something, and they're so deep into it, and for us on the outsiders going like, what are you talking about? This is just nonsense. And that's how they portrayed it in this clip, and I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, this sad reality that science has failed people on an ideological / religious spiritual level, in the sense that, once they taught the gorilla its death and they drilled it into its existence, it started having panic attacks. And what does the scientist say? He says, we did it. We succeeded.
Right.
Yeah.
You succeeded with what?
Right.
Yes. Yes.
It sounded fury signifying nothing.
Right.
To take the more serious take on it, Nick, 'cause I think you're right. It actually, there is a very real component to this. I've said before, I'm a big fan of science fiction, have been for years. And a common trope in science fiction is, of course, finding life on other planets, right? Finding life out in the universe. And Nick, I have the same reaction. It's like, so what? Say you go find life on some, meteor or asteroid, a gajillion miles away. So what? You're still going to grow old, die, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that life, that amoeba they find on Mars, it lives and then it dies. I mean, so what? It doesn't bring salvation, right?
That's right.
It doesn't answer that hole in your heart, right? Augustine talks about the God-shaped hole that we all have inside of us. Science offers nothing towards that end.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't. It ultimately, it would be big news, of course, if we would find, life outside our solar system, outside the Earth. But I think that, like you said, Jeremy, it doesn't solve anything. It doesn't solve the question of why are we here? What is the meaning of our existence? It doesn't solve that at all. Now, if we would find aliens somewhere else and we could learn from them, of course, it would broaden our experience and broaden our horizon. But it doesn't go, and not a single inch. It doesn't move us forward when it comes to questions of our meaning and the meaning of existence and things like that. So
is that especially gorillas or monkeys, for some reason, like people they just always want to compare human beings to them, and they're like, oh no, we could teach them to be human beings, they could be human beings, and this proves all this stuff. But it doesn't, because we are the only animal on earth that God chose to be human beings and to communicate with him through our soul and through our, and in that way. And so this, it just goes to prove, it's a joke, but it's true.
My last thought is, going back to St. Paul, if I have the power to prophesy, the faith to move mountains, and I'll just add, if I have the power to educate and communicate with gorillas or to have bionic cyborg superpowers, but I have not love or Christ, right? It's all just clanging cymbals, right? And those scientists are those clanging cymbals, right? There's nothing there. There's nothing upstairs at the end of the day, or there at the end of the day.
Amen. Nick, you nailed it. That's, to piggyback off of what you and Tirzah said, I mentioned earlier, it's sound and fury signifying nothing, right? To quote Shakespeare, it's like, Robert, like you said, if there is life somewhere, it would just be, you know, from their perspective, from the naturalistic perspective, it's just chemicals bouncing around inside of our brains with no purpose, no transcendence, and no answers, right? No answers for the end. I am appreciative, Nick, of this clip, because I think it's nice to bring some levity to the conversation. And yet, like you said, there still is very real issues being touched upon here. And I was pleased to be part of this. Thanks, you guys.
My final thought is, Nick, keep the funny clips coming because I need to laugh.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I didn't know this is an Onion clip.
Yes.
I have no idea who the Onion is. So that's why I was like totally, I thought it was a serious clip. I did not understand any of it. So all my thoughts are kind of serious. Sorry about that.
No, but it's fine.
My last thought is, forgive me, I can't remember which saint, but I know it was a saint that said, he said it about psychology, I believe, but I think I could insert science and it would still basically be the same. So it's this idea of, you know, I'll just say science is like a snake, right? And there's the meat that's useful, and then there's the head that's poisonous and you shouldn't eat. And so what you can do is you can cut off the head and then there's all that meat that you can actually use and can be useful. And so there is a place in some cases for this science and for, you know, for that to be some truth, but it's not dogma. It's not in place of the Orthodox Church and theology.
Thank you so much for listening this long into this conversation. Please like, comment, let us know what you think. We'd love to have conversations with you guys down in the comments, and we will hopefully see you guys on the next one. Thank you.
See you.